Hello everyone, welcome back to Sam IELTS YouTube channel. How are you all? I hope that you are all fine. Well, this channel is actually dedicated to the IELTS aspirants who are the ambitious people who want to settle down in English speaking countries. See, IELTS is the English exam which is accepted internationally over 120 countries. So it is a mandatory document for you to submit along with your application. Remember, when you are going for studies or when you want to migrate to any other English speaking country, you need to prove your English proficiency. So if you continuously watch this channel, you will get a lot of tips, techniques, methods and strategies to clear this IELTS exam within a single attempt itself. Because the IELTS exam involves a lot of money. So without proper preparation, even though you know the English well, if you attend the exam, for sure you will not clear the exam. So what you have to do? You have to watch the channel continuously, get a lot of content, grasp all the content, take notes properly, prepare, practice, and for sure you will clear the exam. If you need any help related to the IELTS, please visit www.samielts.in or our team WhatsApp number 90431408444 to book a free demo. Alright, without further delay, today let's get into the IELTS speaking methods. So, I'm going to discuss you a lot of strategies or methods that you can easily apply in the IELTS speaking exam in order to get band 8+. So, what are these methods? Well, before getting into the methods, I'll give you a gist of the IELTS speaking exam. The IELTS speaking exam is the one-to-one conversation between you and the examiner directly. This exam will take place for 11 to 14 minutes. It has 3 parts, speaking part 1, part 2 as well as part 3. In the speaking part 1, the general everyday questions will be asked, which means yes or no type of questions. For example, do you like cooking? Do you like swimming? Do you like to play games? Something of that sort. These questions are everyday questions and it is quite easy to answer. Though it is quite easy to answer, you need to understand you use certain methods. Before getting into the methods, let's move on to the IELTS speaking part 2. In the IELTS speaking part 2, it is a cue card round. The examiner will give you a question paper as well as the answer sheet. You have 1 minute of preparation time. And after 1 minute, you need to speak to the examiner continuously for 2 minutes without any interruption. And the examiner will judge you and will not interrupt you in these 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, if the examiner is interested, he will ask you a follow-up question. Or if the examiner can move on to the part 3 questions. Remember, speaking part 3 is almost an extension version of the part 2 question. For example, if the part 2 question demands something about the sports and the part 3 question will be an extended version of the sports. In the part 3, the examiner will ask you opinionated question. What do you think about the Indian sports? What do you think about the cricket? What is the popular sports among in your country? Something of that sort. Which means he is asking you your own personal opinion and you are going to explain your own personal opinion. So, in this video, I am going to clearly explain techniques that you can actually use to extend the answer. Remember, in speaking part 1 as well as in the speaking part 2, you need to extend the answer. For example, the examiner is asking you, do you like blue color? And your answer may be either yes or no. But remember, that is not sufficient for the examiner to understand your level of English. So what do you have to do? You need to extend the answers very clearly. How to do the extension? Here, I am going to tell you the extension methods that you can actually use in the part 1 as well as in the part 3. So, what are these methods? The first method is point explain method. For example, the examiner is asking you, do you like blue color? And you are going to say, yes, I like blue color. Remember, this is not sufficient. So, you are going to expand the answer. Do you like blue color? Absolutely, I love blue color because I am a huge fan of sea. Remember, I have not only tell the answer to the examiner, instead I have explained the reason behind that. That is most important in the IELTS speaking part. So the method number 1 is point explain method. Answer to the examiner, you need to expand the answer with the proper reason. Do you like cloud gazing? Indeed, I enjoy cloud gazing because I remember a lot of stories that my grandmother told me during my early days. So, I am telling the examiner, I love this because is the word, since is the word. So, you are going to expand the answer with the proper explanation. Right. So, do you understand this method? Hope you can apply this method in certain questions and test yourself. Correct. Let's go on. Okay, what is the next method? The next method I am going to describe here is called as the compare and contrast method. What is compare and contrast method? Remember, in the IELTS exam, the examiner will ask you some questions in the past tense, some questions in the future tense and some questions in the present tense. Which means the examiner is testing you whether you are understanding the question correctly and whether you are able to produce your answers in the perfect tense. So the examiner is asking you, what was your favorite toy? Remember, what was your favorite toy? So the examiner demands you to answer this question in the past tense. So what you can do? You can actually compare and contrast method. How to use that? Well, let me explain you. When I was a child, I used to play with a lot of Barbie dolls. However, now I have grown up. So I don't play anymore. So I don't play with toys anymore. So what is this method? So I compared my past tense. When I was a child, I used to play with a lot of Barbie dolls. This is one part of the answer. And what is the other part of the answer? In the other part of the answer, I am telling to the examiner that I have grown up and I don't really enjoy toys anymore. This is actually called as the compare and contrast. You can compare between the past and the present as well as present and the future. Anything you can do, but you can use this method to extend your answer. While using the compare and contrast method, you can say also use on the one hand, on the other hand. Yes. So you can use this phrasal verb on one hand. What was your favorite toy? Let me explain. On one hand, when I was a child, I used to play with a lot of Barbie dolls. On the other hand, now I have grown up. I don't play with toys anymore. So this is the phrasal verb that you can actually use in the compare and the contrast method if you are interested. So why we are using actually a variety of methods? Remember, the examiner is expecting you to express your point of view in a clear, structural manner. So, you need to explore your vocabulary as well as grammar to the examiner in order to get band 8+ in the IELTS speaking exam. Alright, let's move on to the next method. What is the next method? Remember, I told you the examiner will ask you questions in the present tense, past tense as well as the future tense. Now, I am going to tell you another method that you can actually use, which is museums are necessary. You can say, in my opinion, I believe that museums are mandatory because it provides a lot of educational value to the younger generation. For example, the planetarium, which is located in Chennai, provides a lot of information regarding the space, and I am really enjoying that. So, you are providing the examples. Remember, these examples may be fact, or this example may be a survey, or this example may be a personal example. Anything is acceptable until it is actually giving a proper answer to the question. So, while giving the examples, we provide a very clarity answer to the examiner. So, use these methods. Remember, the first method is the point explain method. The second method is the compare and the contrast method. The third method is providing examples. If you use these three methods, for sure you are going to reach band 8+ in the first attempt itself. Remember, these methods come handy only if you practice really well. If you want any practice or any mock test regarding the IELTS, you can visit www.samielts.in or our team WhatsApp number 90431 40844 to book a free demo. If you really like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Also, please follow us in the Instagram community so that you will get a lot of useful information which helps you to clear the IELTS in the Band A in the first attempt itself. Thank you so much.